Do you believe in the power of love? Do you believe that love is so powerful that it can shoot out from the grave? Well, we're going to talk about that today. Fascinating graveyard. Show you the grave of Harry Spitz, who quite possibly, in this instance, could have very well happened. We're going to go back to July 1st, 1975. There was a man by the name of Glenn Pierce. He was the caretaker here at this cemetery. So on that morning, he's going about his normal rounds. He goes up the hill up yonder and notices that there's a hole at a grave. Now he's looking at the hole, thinking it's kind of odd that it's there. He peers into the hole and he realizes that he could see the concrete vault inside, down below, and it's been broken. So this kind of startled him. He goes to call for the police to arrive, because obviously somebody either tried to break into that grave and rob it for whatever valuables the person thinks is inside, or you had a disgusting act of vandalism that often occurs in cemeteries all over the world. So the police arrive. They're looking at this grave. They shine their flashlight inside, and obviously they can see that the top of the concrete vault has been broken. First they're saying, okay, somebody came here at night, and as you can see, there's no fences here. You could just walk right on in. Somebody came in at night, dug it up, and broke the vault. Well, here's the problem with that theory. There was absolutely no indication of any kind of shovel marks at all whatsoever. The ground was not disturbed from the outside. Now you're thinking, okay, maybe it was a gopher. If it was a gopher, how is the top of the concrete block broken? So they said, okay, let's go ahead and disinter this grave. So they're looking from the side, and they can tell it's the grave of a 3-year-old boy. Now, before they do all of that work, it's a lot of work to dig up a grave. Maybe they're thinking, okay, could it be the gases that emanate from a body once we die? Now, it is a known occurrence that the ugly side of death physically is that bodies sometimes gas up and they blow up. However, according to cemetery records, this is the grave of a little boy named Harry Spitz, who was 3 years old when he died in 1912. So that theory is out the window, because the process of decomp has long ago occurred. There's going to be no more gases coming from the body. And you got a 3-year-old boy, that body's not even going to be big enough, if it were to happen, to do such force as to just raise the ground up. And you're talking about thousands and thousands of pounds of earth on top of that concrete vault. Whatever caused this occurrence, it caused it with great force, tremendous force. So finally they decide to go ahead and disinter the grave. They get the backhoe, start digging, bring up the vault. So they open the vault and they see the coffin inside. When they open the coffin, they see the little boy, Harry Spitz, who had died of cholera. And they remark that his blonde hair is still in very, very good condition. As a matter of fact, the body looks in excellent condition. You can still see the little flower between his hands and the metal plate that said, "Our darling." So they're thinking, okay, this is just really odd. So by that time, them pulling the vault out, it had broken into several pieces. So they placed him in a new coffin in a new vault, and they reburied him in the cemetery. Now, you have a lot of people trying to come up with explanations for this story. Maybe the earth moved. They even brought out a geologist to study the topography of the cemetery, and no, that didn't happen. You had a man from the gas company. Okay, obviously you had a ruptured gas line, and the force of it just shoved the earth and shot right out. No, that also did not happen. There is no gas lines that were ruptured or broken anywhere near the cemetery or on the perimeter of it. And this was a very curious story. And then finally, you know, this story started reaching bigger cities in the area. And a Pittsburgh psychic, a woman, she said the love bond between this little boy and his mother was so strong that it shot out from the grave. Now, people might have laughed her off and called her a kook, and you might do so as well. But at the time, his mother was still alive when this happened. This is the grave of little Harry Spitz. The story happened in 1975. This is the mother, Desiree Spitz. She died in 1978 at the age, I believe, she would have been 93 or 94 years old. That is his father, Henry. He had a heart condition. I'm not 100% sure he died of that, but he was often unemployed during his life because of that heart condition. How is it possible that enough force from a grave could move up earth 8 inches? I mean, even if you start digging now and you put in a wheelbarrow, in 1 minute you already have several hundred pounds of dirt. So who knows whether this story is true, whether the story is just one of those old wives' tale or what have you. I leave that up to you to decide whether this boy's love for his mother created enough force to shoot out from the grave. A very fascinating story. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'm heading to the next location. I will see you guys later. Peace out.